Hi friends, welcome back to Edupedia World. Last lecture we saw some components regarding house wiring. Today we'll take it further and discuss about earthing or grounding. Then we'll see what is 3-pin plug and socket system and how it is related with the concept of earthing. Then we'll jump into high tension wire. We'll understand what it is and how is it made. And finally we'll conclude the chapter with the understanding about color codes of wires. So let's get started with earthing. In every house wiring system, local earthing or what is known as grounding is provided. Now what exactly is that? The earthing or grounding system works like this. A hole is dug which is around 2 to 3 meters deep, and a copper plate, thick copper plate, is placed at the bottom of it, and it is surrounded by charcoal and salt and made wet so that it has a very good connection with the earth, and electrical conductivity is provided by this mixture. Now with the copper plate, a copper wire is taken out from the copper plate in connection with the copper plate, and this is attached to the electrical meter, and via that to different appliances in the housing. Now what does this do? This provides earthing or grounding to different appliances. What is the purpose and or what exactly does this system do? What it does is that suppose an appliance due to some short circuit or something has a connection with the live wire. Let's say we have an appliance. Let's say this is an appliance. The live wire is coming like this, and the body, which is supposed to be insulated, for some reason there is a leaking of current and it develops electric current flows through the outer body. Now if the device is provided grounding, this is the symbol of grounding. So basically what it means that this device is connected with this wire here. What it will do is, the earth is a infinite sink, that is, earth absorbs any number of electrons you provide it. Therefore this path will be a path of very less resistance, okay, and the electricity will start flowing, a lot of current will start flowing through the appliance via the earthing wire into the earth. This will result in a sudden increase in the amount of current flowing. As a result, what will happen? The current flowing will go beyond the rating. Therefore that will result in the fuse to melt and the whole system will stop working, and thereby it will prevent any accident from occurring. That is, any person accidentally touches this might get electrocuted. But in such a scenario, since the current has immediately went to a very high value, the high flow of current will lead to breaking of the fuse and the system will secure itself. You will come to know that there is some problem in the system, and while inspecting you will be able to find out where exactly the problem occurred, and this will avoid any unforeseen circumstance from happening. Okay, so this is the basic concept of earthing or grounding. Now this very same concept is applied to different appliances, especially to the appliances which might encounter direct contact with the user, like let's say water heater or a air cooler or electric iron. These things, right, you directly touch, come in contact with them. So it is very important to provide earthing to such systems. Now, how is earthing provided exactly? In a 3-pin plug and socket system. Let me write it down. 3-pin plug and socket system. What happens here is that you have a plug, and this plug has basically 3 pins out of it. One pin is like this, which is thicker than rest 2 and also longer, and the rest 2 pins are shorter in dimension and thinner than the first one. This is my pin for earth, and rest 2 one is for neutral, and the third one is for my live. Okay, similar, this is the plug. Similarly, the box, the socket from where we will draw the current will have a hole for the earthing and 2 smaller holes, one for the neutral and one for the live. Okay, so this is my plug and this is my socket system. In this socket system, okay, in this socket system we have the earthing attached to here, right? So the earthing comes and attaches in this system. The live wire comes and attaches here, the neutral comes and attaches here, and this plug, this is attached to my appliance. Okay, so once I plug this into this, what will happen is that the appliance will automatically get the earthing from here and the power supply from these two, from the live, and it will go away from the neutral to complete the circuit. Okay, thereby my earthing is put to use. This is how it is done. Now, why is this special characteristic? Why is the earthing pin larger in diameter and longer in length? This is so as to avoid any chances of the earthing pin going either into the neutral or the live wire. Okay, since this is larger and thicker, it will only end up in the earthing one, and since this is longer, what will happen is that the earth will get connected with the earthing pin will get connected with the earth before the live and the neutral gets connected to live and neutral here. As a result, if there is some problem in the system, at first the earth will get connected and the whole current will start flowing. The whole discussion which we did here will immediately come into play even before the live point is connected. Thereby the device will be protected against any unnecessary large flow of current. Okay, so this is called our plug and this is called our socket. Fine. Now, as we have discussed about switch, here too it holds true that you should not touch under any circumstances this system with wet hand. Note that you always have a dry hand when using any electrical appliance in order to avoid any electrical shock. Okay. Now, general points of precaution in house wiring systems or in case of electricity is that electricity can lead to 1, fire, and 2, electric shock. These are the 2 modes of accident which is the most prevalent with regards to electrical system. How can fire occur? If a large amount of electric current flows through the live wire or the other wires, then it might overheat, melt, and lead to a fire. Therefore, it is very important to realize what wire are we using, what rating wire are we using the right rating for the right appliance or not. Second, electric shock. In case there is some misconnection or there is some wire which is not intact and in contact with the body of an appliance, electric shock can be resulted. What is the best way for precaution? That there is no cuts or anything in the wire, that is a must. Second, the earthing should be intact. The earthing should be good so as to avoid electrical shocks in general, and that is a healthy practice. Finally, never ever touch any electrical appliance with a wet hand. I cannot overemphasize this fact. Okay, so these are some hazards that can be caused by electricity, and also we discussed some of the ways to mitigate the hazard. Okay, now before I close the chapter, I will discuss something which is known as high tension wire. Now, what is high tension wire? High tension wire. As we have seen, every wire has a rating above which it will melt or overheat and might cause fire. But there are scenarios when we actually need a large amount of current to flow through a wire under very high voltage. Okay, and this task is carried by special wires which are known as high tension wire. So this is high current is allowed to flow at high voltage. How exactly do they do it? What happens is a high tension wire is made out of many thin wires which are insulated from each other, wrapped together, and each wire in itself is of low resistance. So what is happening? One, the wire is of low resistance, so we select a material such that it has low resistance. And second, since there are multiple wires brought together, therefore the effective surface area is high. As a result, the resistance further drops, and each wire is insulated from other wire so that any heat being generated in each individual wire gets space to dissipate its heat. Okay, so as a result, the heat accumulation is reduced. So the combination of a low resistance and multiple wirings separated from each other provides what is known as a high tension wire. Okay, now let us conclude the lecture with something which is quite important. You should know it. It's called the color convention of wires. Color convention. So as we have seen, there are three things: earth, live, and neutral. Right? Earth, live, and neutral. So the international bodies have decided upon a uniform standard coloring to mark different wires. The earth is marked by green or yellow. So it is green or yellow. The live wire is marked by a brown wire. So for the live wire, brown colored wire are used, and neutral wire is light blue. Light blue. Okay, so this is the color convention used for the wires of for different purpose. Now this three coloring system is a new convention which has been recently adopted. The old convention used a different coloring system. I will just mention it for your knowledge. The earthing was in the old system was green. The live wire in the old system was red. Now it has turned to brown. And the neutral in the old system was black. Now light blue. Okay, so this gives you by seeing this color of the wire, you can understand which is the live wire, which is the earthing, and which is the neutral, and thereby it provides a visual clue in order to avoid any accidents from happening. Okay, so today was the second part of lecture covering the important components in house wiring. We started by discussing what is earthing or grounding. We saw how it is done and what is its utility. Then we saw the 3-pin and pin plug and socket system. We discussed what is high tension wire and how it is made. Finally, we concluded by studying about the color convention for different wires. With this, I will close today's lecture, and this brings to a close the chapter on current electricity. The next lecture will start what is known as electromagnetism. So hope to see you in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Goodbye.